On a small hill overlooking the wide golden plains near Cape Town, two young university students often sat together after class. One was Thabo, confident, ambitious, always speaking with energy and plans for the future. The other was Mandla,
I never thought I'd feel this
quiet,
peaceful again.
thoughtful, with a calm smile and eyes that lingered on the drifting clouds. One evening, as the sun painted the fields red, Thabo said, "After graduation, I'll go to Johannesburg. I'll work for a big company, buy a house, buy a car, and lift my family out of poverty." Mandla chuckled softly. "And I just want to find a path where waking up every morning doesn't feel heavy." They fell silent. The warm wind blew across the dry grass, carrying the scent of dust and hope, the fragrance of youth making promises. Years passed. Thabo did exactly what he said. He rose quickly in a major investment firm in Johannesburg, surrounded by meetings, bright offices, and glittering parties. On social media, people saw him smiling in luxury restaurants and driving new cars. Mandla, meanwhile, drifted from town to town, Port Elizabeth, Durban, and back to the countryside of Limpopo. He worked odd jobs, teaching poor children to paint, crafting wood, even trying to open a small cafe, which failed within months. When people mentioned Thabo's success, Mandla only smiled politely, but deep inside, he felt a quiet ache. Was he being left behind? One rainy night, Mandla called Thabo. "Do you ever feel lonely?" he asked. "Even when you're surrounded by people?" Thabo paused for a moment, then said, "Sometimes, but I can't stop. If I slow down, someone else will pass me." The line went silent. The rain kept falling, whispering a truth neither of them was ready to hear. A few years later, Mandla returned home to Limpopo, where red earth met misty hills and mornings began with birdsong. He built a small wooden workshop beside a quiet river. There, he began crafting handmade furniture and beaded art, using local wood and traditional designs. People laughed at first. "You can't survive on old crafts anymore," they said. But Mandla didn't listen. He worked slowly, carefully, letting his hands move with peace. For the first time in his life, he wasn't chasing anything. He was simply living. Thabo, on the other hand, was surrounded by lights, yet felt empty inside. His success had become a glass cup, shiny but hollow. One morning, while driving through the city traffic, he noticed a wooden sign by the road. Mandla's Craft House, made by hand, made with heart. He stopped the car and walked in. Inside, the air smelled of cedar and calm. Mandla sat by the window, carving a small sun onto a chair. His face was peaceful, his eyes deep like still water. Thabo smiled faintly. "You haven't changed, have you?" Without looking up, Mandla replied, "I have. I just learned to slow down enough to hear my own heartbeat." They sat on the porch, drinking rooibos tea, watching the golden grass sway in the breeze. Thabo spoke about his endless race, his exhaustion, his fear of slowing down. Mandla listened quietly, then said, "Here in Africa, flowers don't bloom in the same season. Some open with the rain, others wait for the dry earth. But every flower makes the land beautiful, in its own time." Thabo looked away, eyes glistening. The wind brushed through the trees, as if nature itself was applauding those who had finally found their rhythm. A year later, Thabo left his job. He no longer cared about titles or applause. He opened a small training center in Soweto, helping young people find their own paths, not the ones others expected of them. He had stopped running. He had found meaning instead of speed. Mandla stayed in Limpopo. His wooden crafts began to spread across towns, not because of marketing, but because each piece carried sincerity. People said, "When you hold his work, your heart slows down." One evening, Thabo visited again. They sat under a marula tree, watching the sun melt into the hills, just like the days of their youth. "You made it, Mandla," Thabo said. "No," Mandla smiled. "I just found my own pace." They both laughed softly. The golden light wrapped around them like an old memory, warm and forgiving. Don't compare your journey with others. In South Africa, every river flows at its own speed. Every flower blooms in its own season. Success is not about who runs faster. It's about who walks in rhythm with their own heart. Your rhythm is yours alone. The desert, the rain, the bloom, all come in time. Trust your season. It will arrive.